Inside the Don Ruther Fieldhouse, welcome everybody to our presentation of Wednesday Night Hoops. Tonight is a battle of two technological universities as we start with the women's matchup. It's the Warriors, the 21st ranked team in the whole country of Indiana Tech, coming into Southfield to take on the Blue Devils of Lawrence Tech. Thank you everybody for joining us on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. I'm John Stone. I'm joined by Robbie Elliott. And Robbie, this women's team for Indiana Tech, they continue to get better and better every year, courtesy of a lot of returns from last year's squad.
Yeah, I mean, if you saw the warm-up shirts, limitless was the word that was across their chest. And if you look at the stat sheet, if you look at the film, they are limitless. In terms of their ability and efficiency to score the basketball, this team isn't going to shoot the three ball all that well. They're going to shoot about 33% this year, but 44% from the field, John. That is what has put this team at 21st in the country, like you said. But on the other side, the home team, the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils, they're a heck of a team as well, with players all over the court that have the ability and the capability to go off for big nights. Dee Smith, we've seen it multiple times. Jade Ferris, we've seen it multiple times. The streakiness of Maggie Long. This is going to be a good matchup.
Indiana Tech is on a 16-game winning streak in conference play coming in as Lawrence Tech wins the opening tip-off, and it's Dominic Evans to bring things up. Around the Ferris around the perimeter to download Maggie Long. Now to Jacobs, analyzing her options. Inside the paint, got a foot around, and just off the mark. Gets a rebound, and just off the mark again. Rebound was made by Erica Foy.
See that possession right there? They didn't convert on the second chance points, but Kate Jacobs is going to be a huge part of this game if she can rebound well and stay in the game and not get herself into foul trouble.
Around the perimeter to the corner for Burris. Back to the top now for Covington. One of those return players puts up a three ball, and that one's good. So it's Taylor Covington coming in and getting that first bucket of the night.
We've seen Taylor Covington shoot the three ball a ton this year, 141 attempts, actually matching the amount of attempts she had last year already. I said it before the broadcast watching her warm up. She's got one of the quickest releases I've ever seen. She gets that thing to that high pocket and gets it off really quick.
Off the missed layup by Long. To the top now for Decker. Covington again. Kick out now to Erica Foy. Inside the paint. Got a piece of it was Ferris. A little fadeaway jumper is good by Foy.
John, you would argue that was great defense by both Kate Jacobs and Maggie Long to be there. They crashed inside, but once again, limitless.
And so was Dee Smith, but on the drive down, she's going to be called for the walk.
To finish that statement that I was making, they truly are just such great scorers of the basketball. You can play absolutely perfect defense like they did there, and they will still score. But you got to convert on opportunities like that Dee just got. It's early. We'll see how this one plays out.
Underneath, getting a full possession of it was Decker. Back up top now for Smith. Little pull-up jumper from inside the paint, and it just rolls in. Corinne Smith, junior guard from Waterford, gets her first bucket. It's a 7-point lead and a run to start this one for the Warriors. Now Ferris, kick out to Long. Evans gets it down low to Jacobs. Puts it up for grabs, and no good. Rebound was made by Foy.
John, with the height advantage that Kate Jacobs is going to have all night, you don't want her to take those little outside of the paint shots. You want to see her kind of use her body, get in there. But, the night is early, and we will see the adjustments that she make. I'm happy to just see her firing those shots.
So here is Ferris on a double team out to Evans. She'll take the 3 ball from a long way out. Way short. Rebound by Smith underneath. Can't finish it off. And that rebound was made by Covington. Covington not wasting any time. Gets it to the corner for Decker. Covington with the space. Puts up the 3. Gets it through. Covington with 2 3 balls. And we get a timeout called by Grace Howerton.
So to break it down, Lawrence Tech, we'll start there. We are 3 minutes into this game, 4 or 5 minutes, or whatever it is, and the positive that I take out of it is they are actually dominating in terms of the offensive rebound category. They haven't gotten those second chance points to fall, but those will come if you keep winning that category. Now, on Indiana Tech, it was almost like I was just going to eat my words. It seems like in this gym, when you're shooting the 3 ball, whether you're the away team or the Blue Devils, the 3 balls are just raining here. And they have started, let it rain early. Covington is just getting it started. That quick release from 3. She's hot. She's hot, and they have taken a 10-0 lead early here. But, John, you talked about before this broadcast that what you want to see for the Blue Devils defensively is for them to play a heavy zone and crash downside. They've actually done that. But the Indiana Tech, being limitless, I'll continue to say that all night, they have answered back and shot the 3 ball really well.
I talked to head coach Grace Howerton before the game. She said that this team is not afraid to shoot the ball, period. And they will shoot the 3 ball, in one of those being Taylor Covington. Only a 29% shooter, has only made 42 3 balls all year at 141 chances coming into tonight. But she makes all of her chances good for right now. She is 2 for 2 from way out town.
Yeah, and to your credit as well, she's a 29% shooter. She put up 141 shots. But nobody else really shoots that shot, and that's why their percentages aren't very high, and they don't actually attempt a ton either. They usually make about 6 a game.
10-0 start with this ball game for Indiana Tech. Lawrence Tech, after winning the tip-off, has yet to respond. Julia Huey's now into the contest. A fake on the handoff. Evans down low with the foul, and Evans will go to the line to get Lawrence Tech on the board to start this one.
How do you get those first points of the game? You attack the basket, draw the foul, and now you sit at the free throw line taking an uncontested shot.
First one goes in, first point of the night for Lawrence Tech. And down together to point out, she's been one of those players in which throughout the years that she's continued to grow, has had to fight constant battles with injuries. This is the first time that we've seen her without either a shoulder brace or even a knee brace. She seems fully healthy now as these games goes along.
Totally resilient. And, when a player begins to get healthy, especially getting healthy at the right time, you do see their play kind of elevating. Those braces are so restrictive to no matter what sport you're playing. So it's good to see her without the brace and kind of starting to come into her own and seeing her actual potential.
Bethany Worm is into the contest now for Indiana Tech. Down low, stopped in her tracks by Huey. Gives out to Burris. Down low with some contact by Long, and it just rolls off. Rebound by Nagel, working quickly in transition. Oh, what a Euro! And a finish by Dominique Evans.
Talk about seeing the potential on the floor, man. That was pretty, John. Just a great Euro step in the lane. Just fearless.
Kick out, Worm. Before the 3 ball went off, she stepped out of bounds. So a turnover on what had been a potential 3 ball.
And it seems like Grace's timeout there with 6:50 left in the quarter seemed to pay off. You take those timeouts sometimes early just to break the momentum up and kind of give your team a breather and let them know, hey, you're okay. This thing is super early. And that is exactly what's happened. Things are starting to fall their way.
That pass was too bad for Ferris, but there's a foul underneath it. It's going to be on Bethany Worm. Sophomore guard from Kokomo is going to get my mistake. Graduate student, actually, from Westerville, Ohio. But she's going to be called for foul. The second team foul on Indiana Tech. Still holding on to a 6-point lead. And meanwhile, we get a foul away from the ball as we're going to get Jade Ferris for an illegal screen.
Jade Ferris gets fouled, which causes the inbound pass, and then Jade Ferris commits a foul to give the ball right back to the Indiana Tech Warriors.
So turnover. That's Lawrence Tech's first foul of the game thus far. So Covington with some contact, a good pull-up and a finish on the tipped rebound, but another foul is going to be called, and it's on Worm. As we saw right there, she had the arms around Julia Huey, just trying to get around.
Yeah, very obvious foul there, and good for Julia to come in and draw a foul very quickly. Always a confidence booster right there, as Kate Jacobs is also checked back into the game for Jade Ferris.
And also Lauren Barton, her first opportunity on the floor for the Warriors here tonight. Here's Jacobs, long kick out to Evans. Good pressure by Ferris, a good reverse 360, and rebounds made by Barton.
Can't hate on the confidence she had in herself to make a move and go to the basket there. That's the stuff that you love to see, and those shots will begin to fall.
Around the perimeter to Corinne Smith. Now back to the top for Covington. Ball continues to move around the perimeter. Three ball comes in by Covington, and that one goes through. Third three-pointer of the night for Taylor Covington.
I mean, talk about a hot hand. I don't know what it is about this gym floor, John, but the three ball reigns here, even if you're not a team that shoots a whole lot of threes.
Jacobs, after losing her dribble, puts up a shot, and it's no good. Meanwhile, Taylor Covington has 11 of the 13 points so far in this one, so it did not take a lot of time for the consistency to pick up. And now Covington again inside the paint, little floater off the rim, but a good block and a tip by Jacobs to force an out-of-bounds play.
It's good to see her get all ball there. You don't want to see her get into foul trouble. She's somebody who may not score the basketball very well tonight, but she's going to get a lot of meaningful rebounds on both sides of the ball. So great to see her get a block there, and also great to see her just holding her own down low.
A fresh shot clock. As we see Amaris Lowry into the contest. Long three ball by Burris, and off the hand, but it goes out of bounds as Genevieve Decker was going for the rebound. But meanwhile, actually, they said it was, one official said it was Indiana Tech ball, but it was quickly reversed.
Yeah, quickly reversed for sure. And Kate Jacobs did a great job there of boxing out, forcing Genevieve Decker to have to go up for that rebound, which was already tough because it was so far from the basket. And yeah, that's what causes that turnovers. It's those small plays that, they don't show up on the stat sheet.
Back up top for Nagel. Around the screen at Jacobs, a pull-up jumper by Nagel. That one goes through. Addie Nagel gets on the board.
Great play design there. Addie Nagel is somebody who can take over at any point in this game in terms of her shooting. So to draw something up for her at the top of the key, great job.
And a good tip. And that equals another opportunity, but it goes off the mark by Covington, her first miss. And it was a crucial one for Lawrence Tech. But what a great play by Genevieve Decker just to get a tip on it.
Yeah, I mean, talk about making up for a mistake just a few plays ago. But I think you said a big miss there, because for Taylor, she shoots that shot. Now, she doesn't even see that thing hit rim. It gets in the head of the players a little bit. You want that, and especially for a player who's had the hot hand right now.
Meanwhile, that pass somehow got through to Huey. Nearly a steal. Down low to Jacobs. Kick out to Smith. A lot of miscommunication around the perimeter. Jacobs had a full spin around and got it up the front of the rim, and it rolled in.
Talk about a heck of a basket there, huh? Tough basket to get, but nonetheless did fall. This lead for the Warriors has now been trimmed to 5.
Lowry in the corner. Down low on a tip. Burris underneath on the block. Could not make the bucket. Jacobs with the rebound. Now Evans. Lawrence Tech has brought this deficit down to 5 after Indiana Tech started this game with a 10-0 run. Jacobs inside the paint. Got a big shove on there. Rebound by Smith. Gets a second chance, and she makes the best of it.
What did I call her the last time we were on air? A fearless freshman going down there. 2 players gets the rebound in the and one. A now 10-3 run for the Blue Devils.
And that's an and one on the other end, courtesy of Taylor Covington, and she's going to add on to her point total. She's now to 13, and now could easily make it 14.
Yeah, check that, maybe that a 10-5 run as, you know, the only person who showed up to score the basketball today, it seems like, Miss Taylor Covington. Man, oh man, 13 of the 15 points, John. That is truly impressive start.
And we talked about all the returning players. Covington is only in her sophomore year. 5'7" guard from Dublin, Ohio. A lot of talent and a lot of future left in this Warriors program for Covington.
Yeah, and John, I mean, I think we should highlight a little bit, too, what we were talking about off air, and that was just the reason why these returning players are also having so much success, the culture that is being built. Touch on that a little bit.
The fact that the culture is, as Dee Smith with a good spin and trying to go for the strong finish is off the mark. Rebound by Burris. And Burris not wasting any time. A good pull-up and can't finish it, but she gets her own rebound and lost it on the way down, picked up by Jacobs. Nagel to Huey. Inside for Smith on a triple team. Gets it off the backboard and rolls in.
4-point deficit. Great job there by Dee Smith. Just great job in transition all around.
Meanwhile, there's a heated discussion with Grace Hourigan and one of the officials as play continues. A good bounce pass underneath to Decker for the finish.
That right there is just a simple case of just watching the ball too much, not keen on the person you're guarding. That'll happen from time to time, but that can't happen with a game this close.
And right before Huey could get a three ball off, she steps out of bounds. But to answer your question and to talk about the chemistry, head coach Jessie Biggs in her 13th season for Indiana Tech, and also her wife, Kylene Biggs, in her 5th season as assistant. Kylene Biggs was a former head coach here at Lawrence Tech. Spent 3 years here, posted up 65 wins, and actually led Lawrence Tech to a conference championship in 2018 and a run to the NAIA National Championship in that same year.
Yeah, this is a familiar place for her, a place where she's had tons of success. Always cool, I'm sure, for her to come back and talk with the person who now has filled her job in Coach Grace.
Loose ball picked up by Nagel off the missed three. 45 seconds left to go in this first quarter. Nagel inside the paint, but a block by Covington. Loose ball again on the floor, picked up by Ferris, but there's a foul as Ferris was able to kick it out to Maggie Long. We'll see what the foul is on. And it appears it's going to be on Amaris Lowry. And again, another junior guard from Dublin, Ohio. So an inbound play, 36 seconds, a fresh shot clock now for Lawrence Tech. Huey in the corner, gives way to Smith. Give and go, and almost another missed pass. Shot clock is down to 5. Nagel puts up a shot, it's way short. Picked up by Lowry, and shot clock is off. Indiana Tech with the final bucket of this first quarter.
My opinion, I would have liked to see Lawrence Tech drain a little bit more off that clock before they popped up a shot, but hey, got to play defense now.
Oh, what a move. Covington, the step back three goes through. Taylor Covington puts up 17 in the first quarter to give Indiana Tech a 21-12 lead.
A little bit of swagger there, too. She made her come. A little bit of a fall, got that separation, popped her shot, stared her down a little bit. Covington is playing with a lot of confidence right now.
And how fitting. A 21-point first quarter for the 21st ranked team in the whole country.
It's poetic out here in the Don Riddler Fieldhouse.
Last time around, these two teams met in Fort Wayne. It was actually an even score, 16-16 after the first quarter. And in fact, the first half was even closer. But it was in the second half in which Indiana Tech went away. They scored 20 points in the third quarter, 26 in the fourth quarter to run away with that game in Fort Wayne.
Hey, you know, a game like that happens, right? You emphasize you got to finish. Well, now kind of the opposite script is being played out here. So now it's kind of take a page out of Indiana textbook, come back and learn how to fight back from this. There is one player, truthfully, that has been dominating them. But other than that, they've done a great job at crashing down low and not allowing their bigger players to score inside. You change a little bit up and you continue to pop the shots. They're taking great shots on offense, John. I'm encouraged, even though this is a 9-point deficit. I'm encouraged by the way LTU is playing and started off this game.
Indeed, how the game started off was not Lawrence Tech's way. Even though they won the opening tip-off, the Warriors quickly took advantage, went on a 10-0 run. As this team, as we mentioned, 16-0 coming in, a perfect conference record. They've won 10 straight. They only have 3 losses all year and 19 wins. 2 of their losses have been to some of the top 25 ranked teams across the country.
Yeah, I mean, but they've also knocked off some of those top 25 teams, doing that down in Hawaii. I mean, this team was on an unbelievable trajectory last year, and to think that they're on an even better trajectory now just says so much about what everybody on that bench for Indiana Tech has done in the offseason and just throughout this whole entire season.
And off to Covington. Off the screen of Decker. Fake the shot was Foy inside to the elbow and on a tip, but it goes out of bounds. Decker gave it a chance, but it will go Lawrence Tech's way.
And that's the point I was just trying to make. They have done a great job at containing every other scorer on this Indiana Tech team. It just so happens that the sophomore, the youngest one out there for the Warriors, is having a career night.
There's only amongst two seniors actually, Lauren Barring being one of those. 2 seniors on this team this year. Ferris inside the paint, a kick out. She gets it again, nearly on a double team. Down low against Foy, a fadeaway jumper is off the mark. And meanwhile, the hustle of Dee Smith for the rebound. Inside on the box, and she's going to go to the line.
I was just about to comment just how hard she plays, and I don't want to make that comment as she's sitting on the ground right now, but she truly, truly does. Dee Smith plays her heart out, ladies and gentlemen, and she has showed that in both of these quarters. As it looks like it was just a shoe problem. Maybe a little bit of an ankle injury.
That's one thing.
Tough.
Yeah, that's just the one thing which Dee Smith has dealt with. She's dealt with a few injuries this year, one of those being a concussion protocol early on in the year. But that just speaks of the hard and warrior side of that fearless freshman.
When you get a concussion in basketball, it can only attribute to one thing, and that is that you are just like you said, a warrior. You are playing with so much heart and so much passion.
Goes 2 for 2. That was one area as well she was trying to improve along the way, and that was the 3-throw shooting, because her type of play gets more fouls called, but then you got to make up for it at the charity stripe.
Yeah, she's a freshman. She will learn that part of her game. That just spending more time in the gym and dedicating to your craft.
Meanwhile, a bad pass, but a great save by Decker. Genevieve Decker has been all over the place, getting rebounds and getting saves. Down low on the box with some contact, and they're going to count the basket.
Maggie Long simply threw her hands up looking at her coach saying, what in the heck am I supposed to do? She played such hard defense right there and was in her face, truthfully. I don't know if she disrupted the shooting process. That is not my decision to make, but great defense there, but an even better finish.
Amaris Lowry can't make the 3-point plays. It goes off the heel, rebounded by Jacobs, but they've got more weapons to display. Jacobs back into the ball game. Long step back 3 was tipped. Was a very tight window as that was blocked by Ava Smith. Loose ball, Decker with the layup. 25-14 now. Nearly a full 10-point lead. Evans thought about the step back. Healy with some space. In and out. Rebound by Decker.
The Blue Devils have done a great job of getting separation, just have not been able to get those shots to fall.
And meanwhile, a good block by Jacobs, but she cannot keep it in play. That's 2 blocks now for Jacobs, and she's got a tip on one and a full block in that one. As we see Gracie Bobo come in off the bench for the first time, she replaces Maggie Long.
Talk about a productive member coming off the bench, John. Gracie Bobo is among the best when it comes to just coming off and giving her team very, very productive, hard-fought minutes.
And she's going to have her work cut out for her. She's dealing with Taylor Covington and had her faked out on a bad route on the switch. The ball moves around the perimeter, all the way over for Smith, but there's going to be a foul called, and it is going to be on Bobo, who's fresh into the contest. By correction, no foul called. Ball was knocked out of play.
Gracie Bobo comes off the bench, scoring 5.3 points a game, and that isn't even where.
And it's a shot clock violation. Lawrence Tech, with a good defense, able to run out the clock on that Indiana Tech possession.
But that isn't even where she kind of earns her minutes. I think it is truthfully through the stuff that doesn't show up on the score sheet. She is hustling off the ball all the time, setting great screens and setting up her players for success.
Bobo with a bad pass, and they're going to call a kick ball, so this would be an inbound play. But that was too tight of a window right there, especially with the crowd just getting closer.
Absolutely. That's just the point in time where you dribble it back up to the top and you look for something else, or you pass that ball off along to a safer option and not create a play.
Meanwhile, Decker nearly had another tip. Evans around the screen. Inside, got through a lot of traffic, nearly was stripped, and Decker gets the rebound.
It was a heck of an effort just to put up a shot there, man. Wow.
Foy. Here's over to Smith. Puts up a long three with a lot of height and off the mark. Picked up by Ferris. Under 7 minutes left to go here in the first half. Bobo gets a down low to Jacobs. Long kick out to Evans. Evans to Bobo. Down low to Jacobs, nearly lost her footing, has to put up a shot, and it's off the mark. And again, Decker with another rebound. Covington gives over to Burris. Foy with a drive inside the paint, floating away, got it around Jacobs. Erica Foy now is at 4. It is now a 13-point deficit. Down low to Ferris. Ferris against Decker on a double team. Jacobs will try a three from the top of the key. In and out. Ferris gets the rebound and puts it in.
I love the switch of the look. Let Ferris work down low, open up something else on the outside, and let her work down there. She's great on the boards.
And Jacobs going for another block. It looked like she had all ball there, but she's going to be called for the foul, and it's going to be Genevieve Decker to go to the line.
Unfortunately, being as tall as Kate Jacobs is, you're not going to win many of those battles when there is a contested shot, especially when your hand is getting at least on something. Most of the time, because of the height advantage, they're going to give the benefit of the doubt to the shorter player.
Decker off the mark with the first free throw. Decker already has 4 rebounds in this first half. Decker averaging just over 10 points a game. Shooting total 64% from free throw range, and she misses on both chances. Now Nagel, a give and go to Smith. A kick out to Evans. But stepping out of bounds, the 4th time tonight, a turnover courtesy of bad footing.
Yeah, just a lack of awareness almost of the court. We've seen both teams, I should say, multiple times step out of bounds at the corner.
Turnovers are now 4-3. Lawrence Tech with the 1 turnover look. And meanwhile, a great cut by Burris, but a tip from behind by Diddy Smith. Looking out from behind, Evans. You can never turn your back on any of these Indiana Tech Warrior players.
Nope, you got to get your switches off the screens and make sure that you, like you said, are not turning your back on any of these players.
Down low to Jacobs. She's in a double team, has to escape. Long pass. Ferris. Shot clock is winding down. They got to put a shot off, and it's no good. Rebound is made by Lauren Barton. Covington quickly the other way. Holds things up for the moment. Around the perimeter. Around the screen. Inside to Foy. Got through traffic and 1. Erica Foy with Dee Smith right up in the grill is going to go to the line.
Such an aggressive play there, but honestly, the right one. If you are going to step up and play,
and with that, my friend, we're going to go to our media timeout here in the second quarter. 29-16, Indiana Tech leading.
Because every athlete deserves to be treated like a pro. Henry Ford Sports Medicine.
Chevy Silverado has what it takes to do it all. With a TurboMax engine and a 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Any truck can help you make a living. This one helps you build a life. Chevy Silverado.
Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for $299 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Blue Devils are finding themselves down by 13. 4:17 left to go here in the second quarter. And we were just talking about the fact that the pace of play, it is rather on the slow side when it comes to Lawrence Tech, because you can see a little bit of miscommunication when it comes to setting up the offensive display.
Yeah, and the other thing we talked about, and just thinking about what we were talking about, the Lawrence Tech Blue Devils just lack an identity on offense right now. Whether that be they take the identity that they're going to shoot the three ball like Indiana Tech has and force you to guard it so that they can create opportunities down low, or you attack the basket and go to the free throw line, but they've done neither one. So let's see if they make that adjustment here after that media timeout.
Jacobs again will try from the key, and she gets it. Kate Jacobs with Lawrence Tech's first three ball tonight after going 0 for 5.
I think that is a great sign of an adjustment made. Kate Jacobs now playing up top on the perimeter, realizing that she's just not having as much success down low.
A quick turnaround jumper by Foy, and that one is good. Erica Foy with a plethora of points, 5 within the last 2 minutes.
Once again, that is a player that has had a lot of success this year inside the arc, and since they have shot the three ball so well, it is forcing the Blue Devils outside, which is in return giving Foy so much more opportunity down low.
A step aside, Maggie Long's three ball just goes off the mark. And our pickup. Back and forth, Barnes to Covington. Up top for Burris. Look at the ball movement around the perimeter.
That's the pace we're talking about, John.
A long three ball by Lowry, and it just goes in on a couple of friendly bounces.
You know, I would say sometimes it's your day, John, but when you have the number 21 ranked team in the country sitting in this gym, you realize that sometimes teams are just that good.
Lawrence Tech called for yet another turnover, and Jade Ferris just called for the walk. That's Lawrence Tech's 5th turnover of this first half. 35-19 now with approaching 2.5 minutes left to go. On the go, but an illegal screen is called, and it's against Lowry.
Questionable if that was a moving screen. Now, definitely, was there a bit of a shoulder driven into the chest of Adinago? Yeah, but you know, sometimes you just gotta let the players play. I don't know if I agree with that call.
And head coach Jesse Biggs also wanting the explanation as well. Lowry called for her second foul. She'll be heading to the bench, replaced by Corinne Smith. Give and go to Dee Smith from Evans. Inside on the block, too strong with a finish. Off the fingertips of Lauren Barr, and it's going to stay with Lawrence Tech. Meanwhile, we see Liv Linden come back in. Linden has missed some time this year, has not played in a couple of last games, was reliable off the bench to start out early on, and we get a plethora of subs coming in last minute as Genevieve Decker is back into the contest.
Biggs is definitely trying to match this new personnel that is out there for the Blue Devils. More of a shooting personnel. It's a team that's going to attack outside, not so much inside.
Smith will put up a 3 ball, way short. Took a wild ricochet off the shoulder tips. Decker with yet another rebound. Covington gets it over to Smith. Down low on a double team. Bounce pass to Foy. Jumper is no good, and Liv Linden with the rebound. Linden, her freshman year from Heartland. Same area of town as Kate Jacobs. A little jumper is no good. Erica Foy with the rebound. Quickly on it to Burris. Burris, a drive down low. That was an easy block by Smith as Burris didn't get a lot of height on it. In transition. Lawrence Tech slowing things down for the moment. To Ferris. Ferris, a good move. What a fake and a finish.
That is such a great job after, like you said, commenting that they slowed things down.
And meanwhile, all alone, Genevieve Decker, blown coverage. And Grace Howard, she's definitely, this has not been the first half Lawrence Tech wanted. A little bit too slow a pace.
Yeah, John, and that was the comment I was just about to make. Talking on the topic of pace, when you watch Indiana Tech in transition, or when they're even bringing the ball up after a basket, they are assertive. They know what they want to do.
In and out.
And Lawrence Tech just has not lacked it. They've tried to set things up, and they're just kind of waiting around and not moving off ball. This team, they know what they want to do. Right here, they're not going to see that type of pace. Well, that's because there's 3 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. And they're going to try and get that last shot.
Blue Devils are chasing 16. Indiana Tech to try to add on to it. Foy with a 3 ball off the mark. Rebound by Smith. They got to put one more shot off. And no shot, clean taken off. So it is a 16-point deficit. Lawrence Tech, they got some work to do.
They got a lot of work to do. Definitely just trying to find their identity, maybe pick up this pace a little bit when they're in transition, whether that be popping a shot, creating a screen off ball to get a shooter open, or just attacking the lane in general. Whatever it is, the adjustments will definitely be made, and we will see you in the second half.
Second half, just in about 15 minutes. 37-21, Indiana Tech leads Lawrence Tech. Welcome back, everybody, to second half of our women's matchup to start Wednesday night hoops. John Stowe and Robbie Elliott with you. And Lawrence Tech's going to start with the basketball to start the second half. And Robbie, we talked about the Lawrence Tech, they just got to pick up the pace. We saw it right at the end of the first half there.
Need a sense of urgency in transition. And even when they're just bringing the ball up the court, I want to see an identity.
And there's the identity right there as Dee Dee Smith gets it going with an electric bucket.
Yeah. If the identity is attack the hoop, let's do it. Let's have success doing it because we've seen that all year long.
Ball movement continues to be efficient, and so does Taylor Covington. Kicks it out. Nearly had a shot on. That was Corinne Smith. And there's a good shot by Erica Foy. Now Foy's into double digits with 11.
Erica Foy and Taylor Covington have had themselves a half. As you said, both players now have entered the double-digit mark very early into the second half. Taylor Covington did that all in the first half, eclipsing the 17-point mark.
Kick out to Jacobs. Does have one three ball in the night. They go to the corner, but as we saw in the first half, the feet are moving too fast as Maggie Long stepped out of bounds.
It's almost like the pace has now gotten too fast to the point where they're, like I said in the first half, lacking self-awareness where they are at on the court. Spatial awareness is what I meant to say. And yeah, once again, a very costly turnover. And what was a great look. It was great ball movement. Maggie Long is so good from beyond the arc, especially in that corner. Just a tough turnover.
Taylor Covington at 17 points, all within the first quarter. She was held quiet in the second quarter. Something that Lawrence Tech definitely needed to do is Foy with a hook shot off the mark, rebounded by Smith. His way to Maggie Long. Long nearly had that one taken away. Inside the paint on the box, has some contact, and rebounds made by Corinne Smith. Smith quickly out. Covington, a three ball, just short. Covington is now 4 out of 6 from three-point range as Ferris is going to bring things up.
And interestingly enough, John, both of those misses have been pretty bad misses for Covington.
Smith got a tip, but on the way down, she's going to be called for a foul. And she got the arm down in there on Erica Foy. It's going to be the first foul of the second half and the first foul against Dee Dee Smith.
Tough to see her get punished there for playing hard. She's going up for a rebound with two other defenders around her, and it's just so. It unfortunately happened that she got made contact with a warrior hand and not the basketball.
Amaris Lowry back into the contest. Lowry has 6 points on the night, has also been a bit of an X factor as well back in that first half. Foy with another drive, almost into a double team, and again it rolls off. Kate Jacobs with the rebound. Around the perimeter to Ferris. Down low to Jacobs, just outside the box. Analyzing all of her options on a near triple team. Ferris, she'll take a three ball shot, and that one goes through. Jade Ferris with a three ball to get things a little bit closer.
Man, that was a great possession right there. Kate Jacobs kept holding the ball, basically inviting the double team.
Foy with an easy jumper, just floating on air. Give and go, a quick shot.
Like I said, though, inviting the double team and leaving open her teammate, Jade Ferris, for a wide open three.
Smith, and one! The relentless Dee Dee Smith is going to go to the line once more.
With an opportunity to have back-to-back three-point plays, this is what happens, John, when you know what you want to do when you have possession of the basketball. You are dribbling up the court knowing you're going to attack the basket, knowing that you are going to try and draw a double team to create an open shot. This is what they lacked in the first half, but have come out of the gates in the second half great. They have done a great job so far.
Smith now up to 10. Make it 11. Foul was on Genevieve Decker. That was only her first, but she is currently out. Bethany Worm is back into the contest as well. 29-41 now. Around the perimeter, Burris had an open lane with the pressure, gets it in. Juliana Burris gets that bucket in on a straight drive to the basket. Evans around the screen. Smith backing her way to the paint. Evans now nearly put a walk. 18-footer shot by Jacobs goes in.
Jacobs has gotten the hot hand going from outside. But once again, as we almost just saw, they got caught looking in the backfield on transition, John.
Another reason why they're the 21st ranked team in the country. Burris, a bounce pass underneath. Good look to Bethany Worm.
It's a great point you make. Great teams, when they're in transition, they don't let a shot like that kind of bog them down. Like, they are continuing to attack, and they're moving very, very fast in transition, hustling down the court once that basket is made.
Bounce pass down low to Ferris, working against Worm, but there's going to be a foul called, and it is on Worm. That's her third foul. And this will be an inbound play from underneath. But as we mentioned, this is a relatively young team, as two seniors and Bethany Worm being a graduate student herself. So there's the seniority as a term to use out. But yet a very young program, therefore the amount of returns from last year.
Yeah, and you speak on kind of a young program in the sense that their coaching staff, a lot of fresh graduates is the term I will use, former players that has helped keep this winning culture in the Indiana Tech Warriors women's basketball program.
Jacobs wins the one-on-one battle with Lauren Barden. Jacobs is now into double digits. Over to Foy, a give and go. Covington has some space, and she gets that three ball. Taylor Covington now with 20.
I mean, talk about having confidence in a player. They are literally setting her up for shots, off-ball screens, so that she...
Jacobs is getting another hot hand. That's her third straight bucket.
And Lawrence Tech is doing the exact same thing. I mean, they are truly letting the hot hands fly. Kate Jacobs has done a great job at establishing an identity for herself, and that being just the outside shot. She's realizing she's just not having a ton of success down low.
Got around Evans. Covington too strong with a finish, and Ferris beats Barron for the rebound. Over to Huey off the bench. Down low again. Inside. Trying to drops up to the baseline, and Jade Ferris gets the foul called as she's going to head the line to shoot.
She caught Erica Foy just absolutely on her heels. I mean, there was nothing that she could have done.
Now we go to our first media timeout of the second half. Lawrence Tech making things a little bit closer now, only down by 13.
Curiosity arrives, lighting a path you tenaciously pursue. The unknown presents new challenges, drawing you to a future ready for change. You'll find your calling is closer than imagined. A destination with all the technology and tools to make magic. Lawrence Technological University. Be curious. Make magic.
At Michigan First Mortgage, we believe a home is more than just four walls. It's endless possibilities, where relationships are strengthened and next steps are taken. It's a place to call your very own, where you can create new traditions and welcome family with open arms. And at Michigan First, it's at the heart of everything we do. Let us help you discover the possibilities of home.
48 to 35. 4:05 left to go. And as we await some free throws coming courtesy of Jade Ferris. And we talked about, Robbie, that the fact that Lawrence Tech is currently leading this third quarter with 14 points compared to the Indiana Tech 11.
It's how you slowly get back into this thing, right? You win chunks of this game. You cannot look too far ahead and say, hey, we got to win a whole quarter. How about we win the next 5 minutes? How about we win the next 5 minutes after that? and they are doing that great. They're doing a great job at that, establishing an identity, knowing what they want to do in transition, attacking what they want to do, not just sitting back and letting the game come to them.
Ferris is now up to 9. Both teams have 2 players within double digits, and obviously the X factor has been Taylor Covington with 20 on the night. 5 for 7 from three-point range, still shooting 50% from field goals overall. Off the screen, nearly lost the handle. Good pressure by Evans. Foy, down low to Burris. Around the baseline, inside. A quick jumper by Foy is off the mark.
That was a great job there. Indiana Tech knew what they wanted to do, and that was get a shot for Taylor Covington, get back those points that they let up at the free throw line. But Dominique Evans, that player right there who just drove in and sadly got fouled, she did a great job at preventing the switch off the screen and preventing ultimately the separation. That is the type of defense you got to play. You got to be glued to their hip. You cannot allow anything, because players like we were talking about on the break, Taylor Covington shooting 5 for 7, 7 for 14 overall. Erica Foy, who doesn't need to shoot the 3 ball, shooting 6 for 12, now 6 for 13. But both those players are just doing a great job of being efficient scorers of the basketball.
Double subs in for Indiana Tech. That one being Genevieve Decker. And we're going to get a foul away from the ball, and it appears to be on Decker. And it will be. For Decker, that's her second. But Decker's had a pretty good productive night as well. Only 6 points, but 6 rebounds and 2 assists to boot. And she's been all over the place, just getting her hand on the ball.
Absolutely. Hustle player for sure, creating great opportunities, setting great screens if you've watched and paid attention to the off-ball movement.
Nagel gets it down low to Jacobs. Inside the paint, Ferris thought about the shot. Little float underneath. One step. Kate Jacobs now has 13.
She is getting it going. The confidence that she's given herself with the outside shooting has allowed her to have a little more confidence inside.
Quick ball movement around the perimeter for the Warriors. Top of the key for Burris. Decker had space, elected not to shoot the ball. Shot clock inside 5, and meanwhile, Addie Nagel was out of bounds and could not get it. But there is 3 seconds left on the shot clock as Lawrence Beck forced an inbound play.
And this is going to be a tough break for them. I mean, like you said, you retain possession, but you only have 3 seconds remaining, which basically means you got to set up a play, which they're going to with the female coming back on the court, Miss Taylor Covington. She is going to probably get an off-ball screen set for her, and she's going to get a wide-open shot, or try to get a wide-open shot in the corner.
You almost had to think that was just a short break, just a breather for Taylor Covington. Meanwhile, inside to Decker, off the mark. It was a good look. Nagel had a look out from behind. Never turn your back on this type of program. Evans on the hard drive. Nobody there to get the boards as Erica Foy came down with the rebound. To the corner for Burris. Inside the paint with the little block and the shove, but Burris gets it in on the hook.
Juliana Burns, great job of using her leverage, using her weight against Addie Nagel, who just really can't compete with that.
A quick shot 3. Julia Hilly gets her first of the night. And it's a crucial one to get Lawrence Tech back within 8.
I have loved this. I mean, seriously, they have taken the identity that we're going to shoot the basketball. This has been a team all season as they once again get another turnover. Things are starting to fall their way, but like I'm saying, this team has shot the 3 ball a ton this year. They just shot from outside a ton overall. They haven't been a team that has scored all that well down low. Kate Jacobs, Julia Huey, Jade Ferris have all done an excellent job at executing that game plan that Coach Grace had for them in the locker room.
Foul was on Juliana Burris. That's only her first, but that foul puts Lawrence Tech into the bonus here in the third quarter with 1:10 left to go. And what was a 16-point lead for Indiana Tech has now been knocked down to half that, and a bad pass. And meanwhile, we're gonna get another call that's gonna be reversed. The baseline judge said that it was last touch off Lawrence Tech after it went through 2 Indiana Tech players. So the call gets reversed. And that brings bad greetings to head coach Jesse Biggs, who wanted the extra possession. So now an inbound play. Long inside to Jacobs. Jacobs kick out to Nagel. Ferris fake the 3. Got the contact, but they're going to call the block. Ferris is going to go to the line with the clock winding down to 2 seconds to shot.
Everything is continuing to fall their way. That is why they've gotten this thing back to a single-digit deficit. And, I mean, with Jade Ferris, their best free throw shooter at the line, this is the exact position that they want to be in.
Ferris makes the first. 74% shooter coming into tonight. One of their best. Gets a friendly front side bounce. Now it's a 6-point deficit. Covington kick out to Worm. Down low for Foy. An easy jumper over Jacobs. Shot clock is turned off. Final shot of this third quarter. Lawrence Tech looking to make it best. Kick out to Nagel. Down low again, nearly off the tip. Jacobs on a triple team. And they're going to call a charge. It was on the forward motion of when she was trying to clear out of the triple team. It's only a second foul on Jacobs, but you got to think, you got to look for an open shooter right there.
Yeah, I mean, she immediately drew that triple team, like you said. You got to pass that ball, dish that to the next person.
Burris had it off the backboard. So let's go to end the third quarter. But things are getting a lot closer as Lawrence Tech does win this third quarter with 23 points in this quarter compared to the 15. So this is the right direction we were talking about.
Absolutely. And like I said to sign off the first half, the adjustments will be made. Grace has done a great job at making sure this team does not, suffer those massive, massive losses. And when they do, they come very few and far between. And it was simply just, they were hanging around really well. Defensively, yes. Was Taylor Covington getting a lot of points that she shouldn't? Yes. But other than that, there wasn't many players dominating them other than her. So they understood the objective on defense. And then it was, okay, figure out the identity in the first few minutes of the third quarter and then execute it. And execute it again and again and again. And they've been all gas. All gas. Kate Jacobs ultimately has gotten them back into this game. The confidence she has given herself from the outside shooting has allowed her to attack more inside, which has just opened up everything else around the court.
Lawrence Tech has yet to even have a lead in this game, and the largest lead was at the half at 16. Now they find themselves only trailing by a measly 8. 52-44 as we about to start the fourth quarter. And in terms of things getting a lot closer, in terms of the rebounds total, 28 total rebounds for Lawrence Tech, 26 on the side of Indiana Tech. The three-point shooting has definitely been in the favor of Indiana Tech, all that being Taylor Covington, who's been quiet, rather. Only one shot this second half to reach that 20 mark.
Yeah, she actually had 2 shots, and one of them was a missed 3, and the other one was a made 3. But yeah, like you said, 3 points in this half so far. She finished the first half with 17, and she has now only gotten 20 points.
And as a team, the Warriors are shooting almost 47% just overall from inside the arc, and they're going to get the ball to start this fourth quarter. Trying to finish it out and trying to go for a 16th straight conference win and their 11th straight on their current streak. A quick 3 by Worm off the mark. Rebounded by Evans. Evans working very quickly. Gives way to Healy, but the foot drag and another costly turnover by the feet of Lawrence Tech.
I mean, wow. I haven't seen this all season, John. They have done a great job at not shooting themselves literally in the foot. These turnovers have just simply not been something that has caused them in these close games to kind of have to come from behind. But it's all about being resilient, and let's see how they answer.
Decker tried to get it off the leg of Healy, but Healy read it beautifully and almost a steal by Covington. Down low to Jacobs. Ferris thought about it. Ferris does have 1-3 in the second half. And a ball was knocked away. Gets it to Jacobs. The pressure on the inside of the paint has done wonders for Indiana Tech all night. Jacobs will put up a 3, and she gets it. Kate Jacobs with her second 3 ball of the night.
We are seeing a true career night for Miss Kate Jacobs. I mean, I have not seen her be so unconscious shooting the basketball all season long.
Covington will put one up of her own and adds on to make it 23 on the night.
I think Taylor Covington had enough seeing other people shoot, and she wanted to remind everyone in this gym that the first half version of her was still here. That was a tough shot, ladies and gentlemen, and she made that look so easy.
Ferris had some space, and it just rolled off. Jacobs is now with 16. Ferris has 11. 3 players for Lawrence Tech in double digits, 2 on the side of Indiana Tech, and that one being Covington, too strong on the finish, but this is going to be a foul called, and the whole bench erupt, and immediately Grace Hourigan calls over Dominique Evans, who was called for a second foul.
I think she's just trying to reel her back in. Dominique Evans has done a great job all half of playing very aggressive defense without giving up a foul. She's been glued to the hip of Taylor Covington, which has ultimately been the reason why she hasn't been able to get separation, because she's not budging off those screens. So I think just telling her to kind of reel that back a little bit now that she's starting to push the line with those fouls and getting one right there.
Quick jumper by Foy. She has done that very consistent all night as she's up to 17.
We've talked a lot about Taylor Covington tonight being such an X factor, but I think it's actually Erica Foy that's the X factor, because without her, the slowdown of Taylor Covington, you'd argue this deficit is a lot closer, and if not, maybe even a lead for the Lawrence Tech.
Jumper by Evans is off the mark, rebounded by Worm. Now it's a 10-point lead for the Warriors. Down low, Decker, good fake, and able to get her own rebound, put it up on the second chance. Genevieve Decker with 8 points, and she has done all the defense and the offense in the boards.
Yeah, she is just having a great half, and that is a tough player. Kate Jacobs is one who usually doesn't give up a lot of rebounds down low, especially defensively.
Loose ball picked up. Ferris gets it off the back. And a quick timeout called by Grace Hourigan. Still a 10-point deficit. And they're going to transition this into a media timeout, so we're going to take a break. Lawrence Tech is still hanging around. 59-49 is the score.
Because every athlete deserves to be treated like a pro. Henry Ford Sports Medicine.
Chevy Silverado has what it takes to do it all. With a TurboMax engine and a 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Any truck can help you make a living. This one helps you build a life. Chevy Silverado.
Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for $299 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Out of the media timeout. 6:57 left to go in what is now a 10-point game. And Robbie, you and I talked about the fact that Lawrence Tech, it was crucial for them to win the third quarter. But right now, Indiana Tech, they looked at that third quarter and they said, you know what? We're not going to give you any more chances.
No, you got to be relentless, especially defensively. You cannot give up easy points at all, but you also can't be following. Like, you have to understand that every stop is crucial. Every shot that is put up, you must attack those boards and not let second chance opportunities come.
Decker with all kinds of space given by Jacobs. Up to Covington. Evans fell down. Covington's shot was just short. Nearly put Evans on ice. Nagel gives way to Ferris, now to Smith. The ball movement moves around the perimeter. Down low to Jacobs. Just outside the box. Smith went through the whole baseline and a bad pickup. Nagel has to put up a shot. Shot clock is inside 3. And they're able to get it off. Loose ball, and it's going to be picked up by Ferris. A fresh shot clock. Screen by Jacobs. Evans. And again, the shot clock is winding down. Down low to Jacobs. They got to put a shot off. And they're going to call it travel. Another travel, another turnover. Lawrence Tech used up a lot of clock there, and we're not able to put up any good shots. And meanwhile, they got to Decker quickly. A pull-up jumper by Foy was off the mark. Nearly caught Lawrence Tech napping.
Again, almost caught Lawrence Tech napping. There's something about the way that Indiana Tech is transitioning that is allowing them to get behind the defense so fast, and whoever's getting inbounded to is catching it every single time.
Evans will put up a 3 herself, off the mark. And good battle by Ferris at the loose ball on the floor. It's picked up by Foy.
And it's almost as if Lawrence Tech is so worried about now that transition just cherry pick happening that they're not crashing the offensive boards.
Foy with all kinds of room, had a lot of space, and we get a foul away from the ball, and it's going to be on Genevieve Decker. But we saw this at the end of the first half, and now we're seeing it again. This transition is just leaving too many open spaces for any one of the top 3 scorers in this lineup.
Right, and they have Lawrence Tech worried. Indiana Tech has done a great job on transition of either getting a player open or creating space for a player to get open. It is simply inexcusable as to why, with a 10-point deficit with 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, that a player should be that open for 3, John.
So extended timeout is taken on the court. 5 minutes left to go. It's still a 10-point game. We've had 4 straight possessions without any buckets, but yet you saw the way everything turned out, in which there should have been points there.
Oh, there should have been points, absolutely. You argue Indiana Tech, you give them that shot 5 more times, they only missed that 1 time. And in terms of Lawrence Tech, they had 2 full shot clocks to, muster up a play to get a basket, and they just simply could not do that. A travel on Kate Jacobs down low when she's got the mismatch. A lot of points are being left out there, John, and I truly don't know what the adjustment is right now because they are executing what they want. It's just they simply need to make more baskets. The message is almost, you gotta bury it, right? And
Lawrence Tech, after this matchup, they'll be on the road this upcoming Saturday as they head down south to take on the University of Northwestern Ohio. And then they come back home right here next Wednesday at the Don Rither Fieldhouse to take on Lourdes University. And we encourage you to stick around because the men's is coming up right after this as they're taking on Indiana Tech. Lawrence Tech, Blue Devils, and the Warriors. A great matchup and should be a very high-scoring one compared to how the last one did in Fort Wayne.
Yeah. It should be a very great matchup. Both the men's and the women's have got quite the gauntlet to finish up this season.
Plenty more stories to tell, and we'll be covering that along your way. So don't go anywhere. Meanwhile, this could be a really good finish in the making as Ferris gets it off the backboard and in. Ferris now with 15. The ball movement has still been efficient for Indiana Tech this entire game. Covington thought about it. A kick out, Worm with a 3-ball, and that one goes through. Bethany Worm with a 3-ball. The grad student gets a big one.
Lawrence Tech just got caught in the zone there, and they found the open spot in the zone, the soft spot you would say, and that was at the top of the key. Dominic Evans kind of leaking down low, and it left Worm wide open.
Quick 18-footer is no good. Rebound by Decker. For Genevieve Decker, that's her 8th rebound and 8 points to match. Efficient ball moving. You can just see the way Indiana Tech is just working all the way underneath, and Decker left all alone, puts it in. You saw the ball movement, and eventually it opened up the hole.
It's the best way to beat a zone defense, John, is simply moving the ball quickly and efficiently and moving off of the ball. And they did that, and they did that perfectly.
Smith just threw it up for grabs as she ran into a double team. And meanwhile, in transition, they get it to Decker, and then everything slows down for the moment. Down low for Worm. One-on-one with Smith. Just a one-step hook shot. Bethany Worm with 5 points in the last 2 possessions. Three minutes left to go, approaching 66-51. Jacobs will try a 3. She gets a 3rd of the night. 19 points for Kate Jacobs. Probably your best 3-point performance in her entire career thus far.
Oh, I would have to agree. And if there's been a better one, I'd love to see the tape on it, because she has been unconscious from beyond the arc this half.
A strip from behind, and they do call the foul extremely late. The action was there, but yet the call was about a mile away. Either way, it goes against Lawrence Tech.
Yeah, I don't have an explanation for that one, John. I don't know if you do. If you saw something maybe I didn't. I think all of us up here and everyone down there is simply just confused as to why or how a foul could be called that late if there was one. But with 2 minutes and 42 seconds left, up 12, now at the line, you argue maybe it doesn't even matter.
Worm gets the first one. After a 23-point third quarter, Indiana Tech has opened up a 14-point, and to compare it to the Lawrence Tech 10. It's just basically the point totals add up, but you count the amount of mistakes, all the turnovers, stepping out of bounds, and not just not getting back in transition fast enough. Just the pace has not been on the side of LTU here tonight. Evans working her way down low. She gets that foul called, and she goes to the line.
Yeah, and John, they did a great job in that third quarter, and it's why they won it. They executed pace. They didn't really have a lot of wasted possessions, is what you were trying to say. And it was almost as if on the defensive side of the ball, they just simply did not have an answer. The adjustment was then made again, and Indiana Tech was just able to answer every single time we were to go down, make a 3, and as we, I mean Lawrence Tech. Every time they went down and made a 3, Indiana Tech had an answer, and when we had one of those wasted possessions, they were answering right away, whether it be in transition, whether it be from 3 from Taylor Covington. They just found the way to get open all the time.
They had Erica Foy wide open on that half-court press.
It seemed like
they do get it to Warm down low, and that's an easy baseline layup. Just again, the blown coverage. And a quick answer for Indiana Tech off the 2 free throws. A give and go to Nagel. Fake the shot was Ferris inside, fading away, and a block by Decker. Genevieve Decker has been all over the place tonight, contributing on the blocks, her first of the night. The rebounds with 8. Give to Foy, a quick shot and a quick bucket. Erica Foy now with 19. 7 rebounds and 3 assists on her night. One of those key returners from last year. And we get a timeout called. Quick 30-second timeout as we look at the quick summary of all the highlight players. And Erica Foy, who got that last bucket, now with 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. Just efficient as they come. Her being her graduate year as well, from Gas City, Indiana, at 5'11" forward.
Erica Foy has been the silent killer for the Warriors tonight. Taylor Covington, as we knew, had a great night. She shot the 3-ball extremely well, making 23 points. But Erica Foy was there when, in the third quarter, Indiana Tech did not have as many opportunities created for themselves from deep. And she was there making herself open. We always seemed like when we were watching them in transition or watching them just kind of set up those pick and rolls, she was always wide open and she was making all of her shots. She's what kept, a 8-point deficit that they had in the third quarter. If she's not there, it's maybe a 16-point deficit. We're talking about a completely different basketball game here. She has been just a silent killer all night, been efficient on both areas. I comment on the point. She had 19, but you said she had 7 rebounds and 3 assists. She's just done everything right tonight. And
to give you a better idea of the kind of player she is, last year she was averaging almost 15 points a game, had 485 points in the season, and yet this year she's on pace to even break those. She's already at 409 points ending this game and averaging just 18 points a game. She is already on a streak to end her college career better than when she started.
Yeah, and she has... experience pays off. Their coaching staff has done a great job with the continuous development of their returning players. That's why they're ranked number 21 in the country.
Off the steal. Jagus will put up and way short. And that will more than likely put the final touches. 72-56, 47 seconds left to go. Both men's team will wait.
We should have a great men's matchup coming up. Lawrence Tech men's basketball team did get their 5-game win streak snapped by Aquinas, but they are looking to get revenge here against a very good Indiana Tech team. Maybe not as good as this women's team being, so highly ranked in the country, but still a worthy opponent who's going to give Lawrence Tech a great match.
Covington, a final dagger to her night, and the night for Indiana Tech, a 26-point performance by Taylor Covington, and that was the exclamation point. 75-56, and a quick timeout called. It's a full timeout taken by Lawrence Tech.
I mean, seriously, this game started just how this game finished just how it started. Taylor Covington, I mean, just a lethal weapon.
3 rebounds for Covington and 7 assists total for Covington as well. She has done everything. All players of this Indiana Tech team have literally done everything.
Limitless was the word at the beginning of the broadcast, and limitless is the most fitting word for this team. There's nothing that any player on this team can't do, whether it be shoot the 3-ball, whether it be get your assist. Look at Bethany Worms, John.
Yes, exactly. 11 points, just 1 rebound and 1 assist. You always think that the coaching staff is setting themselves up with no limits whatsoever, and that if they don't succeed it's basically you're not contributing as a whole.
Exactly. I mean, you see the great teams always play together as one cohesive unit. It is never one player that is contributing all over, right? It is multiple players making sure that they're making somebody else on the court better, being selfless and taking, the time when Taylor Covington, she scored 3 points in the third quarter, but Erica Foy, allowed Erica Foy to step up. They just played together, they made each other better, and they got each other all their opportunities, which is why they came away in this one with such a big win.
And one final stat line, Genevieve Decker with a double-double tonight. 10 points and 10 rebounds as we get a quick foul. And Taylor Covington will go to the line to... This actually be an inbound play. Nobody's even close to the bonus. But 10 seconds left to go. But we just go for the stat lines of this Indiana Tech team. We give them high praise for being the 21st ranked team in the country, as they will go on to win their 11th straight game and their 17th straight conference game. This team is on an elite level. Lawrence Tech suffers their 9th conference loss. They go to 8-9 in conference play, 10-13 overall, and their 5th loss here at home. So Basically, there's a lot to learn, but we're going to talk about that later on, as we are going to be transitioning now into the men's matchup. It should be a high-stakes matchup because you got a very young Indiana Tech team coming into town to take on a red-hot Lawrence Tech team that knocked off Rochester this past weekend. It should be fun. So stick around, everybody. Robbie Elliott and John Still will be right back here with you on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Do not go anywhere.